Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Plaid Crafts Facebook page. I'm Chris Williams, and I'm here in the Plaid studios today. We have a very special guest that's going to be with us today for our Let's Paint Hometown FolkArt One Stroke Quarterly Roundup. This is the first one that we've done this year. And with our hometown program this year, we've been painting so many beautiful things with great signs too, and we've learned how to paint beautiful roses. We've painted a barn and a landscape. We've painted a very cute cottage house. So many things. And during our quarterly roundup today, we're going to wrap them all up and tie them all up in a real pretty bow. So let me share with you a little recap of what we've done so far. So for the month of January, we painted this beautiful wooden plate, and we featured so many different types of roses and the beautiful saying, "Home is my happy place." And I know so many of you have painted this project because I've seen them. Be sure and post the projects that you paint along with us in the Let's Paint with Plaid Facebook page. And use the hashtag Let's Paint Challenge. This happens to be a beautiful ombre background showing you how to paint a landscape featuring a barn. And you know, every farm needs a barn, and I all begin with the barn. This project was featuring many different painting techniques, including some beautiful purple stock flowers that you're going to learn how to paint today too. And that was for the month of February. Our project for the month of March was all about welcoming your friends to your home place. This barnwood type palette board and frame was gorgeous when it's accompanied by a beautiful little cottage home. And of course the words, "Welcome friends." In this project, not only do you learn how to paint the home and the sky and the beautiful clouds, you're learning how to paint beautiful trailing hydrangeas and a potted conifer. So without further ado, I want to share with you what we're going to learn today. Our project for our quarterly roundup is our Welcome to My Studio project. And with this project, you're not only going to learn how to paint the review of the flowers for those first 3 months, but you're going to learn how to paint some brushes and a beautiful crock that contains them. The pattern for this can be found in the Files section of our Let's Paint with Plaid Facebook page. So if you go to the Files section, Let's Paint with Plaid, not only will you find this file pattern, but you'll be able to download it and have it all ready. One other thing I want to share with you is there is a photograph of this finished project, and it too can be downloaded and printed off if you like. It can be found within the Let's Paint with Plaid Facebook group in the album. And also, after today, we're going to save this video to the Let's Paint with Plaid Guides section. It will be guide number 7, which is all about the Let's Paint with Plaid hometown. And without further ado, I'd love to introduce you to our fabulous teacher for the day. And this is Donna Dewberry, who is the creator of FolkArt One Stroke.
Wow. Hi guys, thank you Chris. I'm so thrilled to be teaching you this project today. You're going to be excited to hang this, I know, in your own studio right there at home. So I'm excited to take this home to my studio as soon as we're through filming here. One of the things I wanted to share with you at the very beginning is Miss Chris had this idea of doing this cute little mason jar full of these brushes, and guess what? These are my signature brushes that I painted, so I thought I'd bring the same signature brushes that you have in your kit in green for the value pack of brushes. So I just wanted you to see I'm using those today just to inspire you. And I wanted to start out and show you how fun it is to lay out a plan to do your project. So the first thing I'm going to work out is the words that we wanted to say were important. So we're going to do those a little bit later. But to make a plan, we wanted to come up with the mason jar. And then Chris had drawn that mason jar ready for me when I got to Plaid, so I was so excited to get this project and paint it right away when I saw it. So I'm sure that that's how you're going to feel. So the first thing you want to do is decide if you're going to be on wood or this 10 by 20 canvas, and you're going to lay out just like I did here on tracing paper, and lay out what the plan was going to be and the words I wanted to put on here. So welcome to my studio was a great idea, and then the flowers that we were going to paint. So I just kind of sketch them so I'm ready to go, and that way I can lay out the words for you. Okay, so let's move over, and I want to show you, I'll show you a little bit here with the lettering, and then you know how much space you have for the flowers, okay? That's going to make it easier for you. Then, so if I have this cute pattern that Chris showed you, well, what we're going to do is, you can see I put this on with the shiny side down, the graphite paper, and then we put the pattern right on top and take a stylus, all right? And you're going to just trace on top of that pattern and get to this point. I went ahead and base coated this. I made a wicker white with a little bit of licorice and made a medium gray color. Okay, so now let me put this to the side and show you before we jump in to paint that. We have one more step I wanted to show you, and that is this wonderful set of stencils for letters and words that we're going to do. And these are inside your kit, but we really haven't used it during the session of painting that we've been doing so far, because we're going to use these stencils during every quarterly roundup. All right, so let's look at these letters and start with that and show you what I did before I even put my mason jar on. All right, so the first thing we did was to lay this out. There's one of the patterns that's inside the kit is this word welcome. So you're going to trace this. I laid this right on top of the welcome word in your pattern, and I used my Identa pen to draw the welcome word, because that was easy. We just traced it. All right, so then it was traced right onto here, and then I'm going to show you that we just took our liner and we stroked in that medium gray. All right, I'm going to show you what to do to that next. All right, so what I did, I'm going to have my paper towels ready. You're going to have your tool, your stencil brush for when we do the stenciling. But this is tracing like you've probably done if you've been painting with me. Or if you haven't, you're going to love all these beautiful patterns we have inside the kit. All right, so then what we're going to do is we're going to get some inky licorice. So right here, I'm going to pull this over here, right there. We're going to make an inky licorice inside my double loader, okay? And people think, can we use medium? You don't use medium for this. This floating medium, you're going to use inky licorice, all right? And I'm using multi-surface paint, guys. So this is just like it shows on the lid, multiple different types of surfaces. It's got a sealer in it. It makes a really nice finish when you paint with it. All right, so I'm going to have this liner ready. So the first thing is I put some dark in the bottom of these letters. So I'm going to come right here, and I can darken just the bottom half of this. Okay, and we're going to come all across here. All right, and then on the left side of each one of these, you can see that these are they're ready for you. So on the left side, I'm going to come right along here. All right. Let me show you. The thing that's great is, remember I told you it's got a sealer in it, because this card here is already base coated and dried with the multi-surface paint. Then when you come along here, we're going to line on the left and underneath, okay? Underneath and the left. Okay. Now, to finish this, we just come back with some white, wicker white, and do a dry brush. So I'm going to come right in here and grab with my liner. And this time I'm not going to be inky, but I'm going to flatten the brush right in here and pull down. And see how I did that all across all these? All right, so there's step. We base coated it. We pulled some black up into it. Right here's the white that we came down with. And then there's the outlining on the edge. Okay, so let's go to the stencil. Now this part I really loved, showing you that you can then you're going to stencil, and you're going to take your stencils and you're going to trace it on. And the way you do like studio, you get the middle letter. So say I started with the U, and then I space these out and make sure that they fit into my area, okay? But the best way to start that is you put the ruler and make a straight line first on this paper, the exact size it's going to go right into my project, okay? So see, I've laid this out. I'm going to do the 2 with you, but see if you line it up right on top, and then you can lift it up, and we're going to stencil it on there. So I'm just going to show you this first here, all right? So we came in here, and we, with the lowercase, all right, and we stenciled it just like this, okay, and I'm going to show you on our project, and then we outlined on the left side of this, and then here we stenciled with the uppercase, and we did all white. Then while the stencil's still on, I'm going to show you this over there also, while the stencil's still here, I'm going to take my stencil brush and I'm going to put the gray, put some additional black, and then I outlined on the left side of each one of these letters, left side and bottom. All right, so let's go finish putting this on the project that I got started here for you. Okay.
And Donna, if you were doing this for any of our viewers' sake, if they were going to do this, would you have them do the lettering first before painting anything else?
Well, there's 2 ways to do it. Chris has showed me that I can just trace all this on, or take my stencil and lay it there with a pencil and just trace it out like where I'm going to put it. But I think, Chris, I liked that I had this so I knew how much space I had left to paint. All right. So let me go here with the lowercase, and let me show you how I do this. So this makes it really easy for you. So you're going to line up by right here, deciding with your ruler where that is going to be straight, right? There you go. You're going to put some tape on here. And then all we have to do is line this up right here to be the T. But let me show you what I did. All right. It was easier to lay this here. Okay. Then line up where the T is going to be right here. Okay. Then I can tape the stencil down and then move it. All right. So the first thing I'm going to do, you can have a paper towel ready here. All right. And I'm going to do this medium gray. So I need to mix some white. Grab a little bit of gray, licorice at a time. This is wicker white and licorice. All right, it's not quite dark enough, but you just add little bits of licorice at a time, okay? There we go. All right, now what we want to do is I'm going to have dry paper towel over there. I'm going to pick up this medium gray with my stencil brush. The stencil brush is dry, all right? Then I'm going to come right here and work some of it off. You want almost all of it off. And then when you come over here, I've got this tape down. I'm going to do the T.
And it's so important, as Donna is sharing with everyone, to use a dry brush. And we call it a dry brush technique when you are stenciling. If you have too much paint or moisture in your brush, what happens, Donna?
It bleeds underneath, and you don't want that. Okay, so then I'm going to come back to where the T is, and I want to let that dry for a few minutes. Let's go right over here and show you under this studio here. While I have this medium gray, I've already got this white already stenciled on for us. So look at the S here. So then I have a place I can just go and line this up. All right. All right, so I'm going to come right in here and get this bottom half because I'm using the same medium gray. All right. And then I'm going to come to the T. So I need more gray. Rub it out a little bit and then come here. So see how I did the gray on the bottom, but then I can take this right now and get a little bit of licorice with the same brush when I'm doing the gray. So that's why I'd like to come down and do all the gray And then I'm going to come back and add this on here.
And as Donna's doing that, I'll just share with you that she is using the FolkArt multi-surface paints. These are fabulous. They're water-based. They're paints that can be used on a multitude of surfaces, like the canvas Donna's working with today, but they can also be used on wood, on glass, on tin, on terracotta, on fabric. So many, many different types of surfaces.
Okay, so I'm not going to continue with this because I want to get our painting done, but you're going to go back. Let's go back to the stencil board, okay? And if you saw, I had some aqua teal on my fingers, which went across there, but did y'all see how easy that came off? Because the background has a beautiful finish. I also want to show you that background, how that happened while I'm here, but I'm going to do that right over here. But see, now we finish all of them to be just like this, and the last thing is that little liner on the left side. See on the left side, and across the bottom. All right. So and that's what this is. Say that because you can use it each time you want to do another project. And you're going to fall in love with these stencils because the block lettering, the look that these are, look really well with the other design extra patterns that you have in your kit that makes it really easy. All right, so what we're going to do is let's look at this background. So what the background was, let's put your stencil tape and your pattern out of the way so that we can just jump in and work on this. Now, believe it or not, this color on the background was actually this moon yellow and wicker white. So I have dampened this brush, picked up a little bit of the two yellow colors, white and moon yellow, wicker white, moon yellow, and I just keep working with it till I get the color I want. Can you see? And I'm going to slip, slap, slip, slap, slip, slap. And that's all we do through the whole piece.
And that was a lot more wicker white than it was moon yellow, right?
A lot of wicker white, exactly. And you're not using your floating medium. You're just using the wicker white and the moon yellow. And see, that's going to be really darker if you like that. But we were going for this really muted, soft look. Isn't that fun? Okay, there you go. And that's simple, but it's got movement, gives you texture. Looks like you really did a fun faux finish background. All right, so I'm going to go to this part, and I just want to give you a couple little tricks about the mason jar before we go any further. I want to have the floating medium, and I put some white in here and some grays. So first of all, if I have my 12, we're going to start with the 12 flat. Are y'all excited about putting this into your studio?
And for those of you that have purchased the hometown kit this year, all of the paints and the brushes that Donna is, brush sizes I should say, that Donna is working with, are the brush sizes that are available in that hometown kit. And that kit is available on plaidonline.com/let's paint.
Okay, I'm just going to show you that I can come back here just because all those brushes are inside this container, okay? So what I wanted to do is have this darker in the background so you'd see the shading. Now look what I do. I take water and get a clean brush and pull, and then you still have the dark in there. Because this is the thing, when you go back here and try to shade each one of those pieces, guess what? It's going to look lopsided and maybe not smooth like we want it to be. So I've done that so far. And then I came back in with the medium, and I picked up a little bit with the floating medium, and I picked up a little bit of the licorice. And let me show you. We're going to come right along here and get that rim. And then what I want to do is I want to come along here again. This is the part I want to show you from the sample I've got here for you. Okay? Is I'm going to come right along here because you want to see that it's a rim. And then I came with another rim. All right? So what made this look like a nice white cast on here is that I took the mix I had with a little bit of licorice and all to get that medium gray. And then I'm touching a little bit of wicker white. And I don't even need floaty medium right now. I just need to come along here and pull it down and get a little bit of a cast here of lighter gray. And that's going to help you get a nice movement. A little bit of glare is going to come in here. So let me show you what's going to happen. I'm going back to the 12 flat, work that in. I just want a teeny bit of that. Still no medium right now. All right. So then I'm going to lean on the edge of the chisel and put a light and put a light. All right, and you can even come a little bit from this side. But what's really going to be fun here is I want you to take the 12 flat and get a little bit of white on both sides. And what I did, and you'll see right here, is I touched right here stronger, and then I pull and have a glare. And then I come in with a stronger white and just do a chisel and pull. All right. Now, then you're just going to base coat your brushes. So let me show you. Since I did this lavender and white, I put the white through the whole brush except for the ferrule. I mean, the bristle part. All right. And then I use that medium gray for this. Let me show you. I'm going to go back for the medium gray. I'm just trying to get everything in our short amount of time. But you don't have to go as fast as I'm going. But let me show you.
Well, the nice thing about this video is it will be posted and saved within the Let's Paint with Plaid Facebook group in the Guides number 7 section. So anyone that wants to paint along with Donna can rewind it and pause it and paint and pause and paint to their heart's content.
Right. So we're just going to come down, get that gray tone in there just like we did on the ferrules. See that? Now, right here's a ferrule that's going to come across here over the white, and see, that's going to make it so much better. And then we have a little bit of a bump in the ferrule and a little bit there, and we're going to leave the white on the handle, okay? Now, if you notice, look, anytime that I went over, I just take a clean brush and wipe it up. All right, so what you want to see is that we want some yellow ochre. Just thin amounts with the 12 flat still. We're going to come here, and this is going to be the medium scruffy. Okay. And right here it's the same thing. Now, this is not a scruffy, so this one's going to be the golden Teflon. Teflon. Am I saying that right, Miss Chris?
Teflon.
Teflon. Okay. All right, but this over here is going to be the natural hair scruffy. So we're going to come right in here and clean that up. And I'll put a little bit more gray in there for silver. Okay. Okay, so let's pick up a little bit of this burnt umber. And I always like 2 colors, right? Yellow ochre and burnt umber. Now I'm going to come right in here and watch this. If I just pull these little strokes down, chisel strokes down on here, and even I can make it a little bit darker. Just one corner picking up burnt umber. See that? And you can even put a little highlight of white in there. But most of the highlight of white, I came in here. And watch this. A little bit of wicker white, yellow ochre. All right. So we're going to come right along here. And I put a little bit of white in here. And now one thing we do some liner work on here. I'm going to pick up with the chisel and just do a little glare on the silver metal. All right, and you can put a little bit there and just a teeny glare down there. But I did take my script liner, 2 script liner, and I get a little bit of this detail. All these little details make this real fun, okay? So we can put a little bit of darker right here, right there.
Donna, I can tell you that many of our friends who are watching today are both from our Let's Paint with Plaid Facebook group members, as well as I recognize many of our friends here from the One Stroke group as well.
Well, thank you guys for coming on.
A lot of people are saying they love this. They want to know if there's a pattern. So let me say one more time that the pattern is available in the Files section of our Let's Paint with Plaid Facebook group. There's also a photograph of the finished piece, and it's in the Albums section in the same Let's Paint with Plaid Facebook group. And after this video, we will share it in the Let's Paint with Plaid group, and we will also share this video in Donna's official One Stroke group.
Okay, do you see I'm starting to make that, can we go real close on this? Well, right in there. So we have lavender and white flowers. Lavender and white brushes, but I want to show you here. I just, with my 2 script liner, I just picked up a little bit of magenta and wicker white, and then I'm going to pick up a little bit of wicker white with purple, dioxazine purple. And then this is going to give you that illusion of my scruffy brush, signature brushes with all the color on there. So isn't that fun? Just real quick and easy. So you can put your initials on there, say what year it is, or just be inspired. I outlined a little bit of, I'll show you again, look real close. This is when you finish all that little detail on here, and I even outlined a little bit more with licorice there. All right, so we worked on the lettering. We worked on our cute little jar, our painting jar, and now let's get into our flowers. And you know that's like my favorite, but I like to have little elements like this. It makes it fun, right guys? Now we're mostly going to be using our 12, and what I did first was I picked up the greens that we want to use. Okay, so let's look down here. Now after we do all of this floral, I picked little pieces of it to fit up here. So you can put the green down here and the green up there, but with our time, we're only going to get this part done right here. But see how I picked up, in case I have time, not have time to show you, I wanted you to see I did a little bit here on top of the green and then put all these little dibby dabs. So as we're deciding what to put in here, I first picked some of the fun colors we were using in our projects. So I'm going to use, I want a watercolor effect. So I'm using the double loader. I'm coming in here with my dampened 12 dampened brush, and I'm picking up citrus green and teal. I keep saying aqua, so hopefully I'm saying teal every time for you. And I'm going back and forth, working this into the brush. And then I'm going to work medium. So I'm picking up medium.
And that is what kind of medium, Donna?
Floating medium. You guys have to get on to me. I always say medium, and I need to say FolkArt floating medium. Big difference than other mediums, okay? So thank you, Miss Chris. I said I'm going to be so good I'm going to remember it every time. And what do? I don't. Okay, so what I want you to see is that this is heavy still. If we're right here, this is where we're going to be painting everything right here, Mr. Will. All right, Will's being so good to film me today and help us be together here and make all this happen. Now look what happens. See, that's dark. Now all I have to do is I'm going to come back in here. I'm going to wipe that brush, and I still have paint in it, but I'm going to come here and then get thinner, more floating medium. So look, I'm going to leave these heavier ones, but see, I still need to just wipe it a little bit. See, I want it more transparent. You're going to like it more when it looks like that. All right? So now it's greeny. You don't want it greeny, so you want enough paint that it does stroke and give you this nice look. All right? So I kind of laid out some green so I know where I wanted to be. All right? So
This is so cute. I'm going to interrupt you for a comment, Donna.
Okay.
Robin Kane just says she's from Tennessee, and she just told her husband that he needs to build her a studio so that she can paint this and hang it. Isn't that awesome?
Yes. We want those studios, don't we, girls? Hey, listen, I was sad, but I was thinking, oh, my grandson, I'm sure he's going to get married and get out of college and go do his thing, and I don't want him to feel bad, so I hope he's not listening. But I already got his room planned, exactly what I'm going to do with that studio. Okay, so let's start with our flowers because we can put a lot more green in after we see how much space. I'm right in front of that camera. I'm sorry. There we go. All right, so you see, work on these transparent little leaves. They're going to make it feel warm and yummy out here, okay? Now, let's put in, I guess I used the same 12. I kept thinking I'm going to my big brush. You know me, I like that big 3/4. All right, so now we're going to look at the flowers. Think about this. We're going to be looking at the flowers that we did in the rose plate in January and February. These are the stalks, these fun little stalk flowers that I put in our barn and our landscape into that painting. And then the little dots are from our March flowers, okay? So, projects. So let's get going here. And the first thing I did to get the featuring focus was my rose. So I'm going to mostly put magenta and then pick up wicker white.
And those roses were all part of the January lesson.
Yeah.
So if you need an RTG to paint by, that's
Exactly.
all part of the kit.
The reusable teaching guide has all the roses in different colors, and I used some of these. I used all the roses right here. So look at this. We're going to take and we're going to go all the way around, and you don't have to trace a pattern on except for the lettering and the little jar with brushes, because all of this is planned out by how these flowers go on.
And
All right?
Donna, while you're painting that rose, I'm just going to keep talking for a moment, and I'm going to share with everyone where they can locate all of this information. The video today is going to be is being recorded and is going to be saved, and they will be able to find it in the Let's Paint with Plaid Facebook group. The pattern for today, and as you all know, Donna usually doesn't paint with patterns, but we thought it would be fun to give everyone the crockery with the brushes pattern. That is available as a free download in the Let's Paint with Plaid Facebook group. And there's also a photo of the finished project too, and that is going to be found in the Let's Paint with Plaid Facebook group in the albums section. This is such a fun project. It's the first quarterly roundup, which is a spin-off of our Let's Paint Hometown video series. And every quarter we'll do another roundup. This one is featuring obviously January, February, and March's videos. And Donna is showing you now how to paint one of the roses that she teaches in the January lesson.
Right, and if you want to learn how to do this rose, step by step is on the worksheet that you have inside your kit. So I want you to see I did one row, the outer row, and then I'm coming around here. Now I'm not doing it super wiggly. Look at this. I'm just making a loose wave, and every time I leave the camera, I am picking up more white. So look, I come here and pick up some white, or I might come right in here in the double load area. So I pink, white, come right here, or I might go right in here and pick it up here. Okay, so there we go. All right, so you have plenty of paint on this brush, no medium, because you should, with these small strokes, you should have enough in your brush to go around and do it.
And to answer anyone that is interested in the kit is available. It's called the Let's Paint FolkArt One Stroke Hometown Kit. It can be purchased through Plaid Crafts, and the website is plaidonline.com/Let's Paint.
Okay.
So Kamali, you'll be able to find it there.
All right, so we've got all the way around here, and we're ready for a center. Okay, so that's one rose. All right, so I also, well, I've got this color already here. I'm going to come right here and put a bud. So the buds are fine, because some people just say, I'm real comfortable with the bud, let me do that. So you're going up and over, you're making a U. So go practice this right on your worksheet, because then you'll be ready. You practice until you feel comfortable, wipe it off, practice again, and then you come here and you're ready to paint your rosebuds, all right? So I'm going to put some more pink in, but see the little triangle of design there? So I'm going to wipe this off, and I'm going to go pick up our dioxazine purple and white, okay? So how are we doing on time, guys?
We're doing great, Donna, right now.
Okay. I want to make sure I can get all this in for y'all. Okay. Now, let's do this little flower down here. This is an open rose. Now, I'm going to come in here and flatten this out on my palette. I have too much white there. There we go. And the beautiful thing about one-stroke painting is that you can just wet on wet, and if you're not happy with something, you go back and pick up some more paint and re-stroke it. All right, and I had 5 petals in this open rose. Okay, we're going to scruffy inside that as we get ready to go and put our centers in. But I want you to see that I can intensify it a little bit more if I want. See how I made it a little bit darker or a little bit whiter on those petals. All right, now I want a little half of a side view. Somebody just asked me recently, show me again how to do those side views on all kinds of flowers because I'm having problems. So can you see I keep picking up white. We want fresh white. That's your back view. Now we're going to put the front petals on front. We have 1, but it shows you exactly how to build this side view right on your worksheet, guys. All right, so then the other purple I'm going to be putting in here is going to be those little stalk flowers I told you. Okay, so we got that done. And now I had one more. Remember, I thought I had a triangle, but I couldn't see where it was. Over here. 1, 2, let's do a little piece right there. Can you see how I'm laying out the design? I have 1, 2, 3 triangle and a triangle of pink. Now the next color I'm bringing in here is some yellow. See, those were shorter. All right, I still like to come in here and add a little bit more. All right, so then the yellow, it looks like I only did put 2 of those. But I'm continuing, guys, this triangle. And so I'm going to bring in some moon yellow and white right here. Okay. Okay, moon yellow and white. I'm going to do a half of one right here.
I know people are very anxious to see the purple stalk flowers too from February. So maybe you could show us those next, Donna.
All righty. All right, so we're going to have a little bit of yellow in here. I'm not going to do a full rose because sometimes as you get going, you don't have room for it. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put purple in before I put any more of the other dabs of what we're doing, because most of those are just going to be the corner of the brush. So let's pick up our scruffy, and this scruffy is going to be dry. We're going to get 1 corner purple, 1 corner white. And see, I'm tap, 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 but I still have the colors separate. See, they're 2 separate colors. All right, so I'm going to keep the white up. I'm going to come right in here and lay it on the edge so I get a point. All right, so I put 3 in here, darker there, lay it on the edge. I'm going to just do this one side so we're sure that you can see it before we're out of time.
And to
here.
answer a question for Kathy while you're demonstrating the second one is just to let you know that the pattern for the welcome and the stencils that we use to do To My Studio are available as part of the Let's Paint FolkArt One Stroke Hometown Kit. That can be found on plaidonline.com/Let's Paint. However, the pattern of the crock with the brushes and the palette knife is a free pattern download that can be found in the Files section of the Let's Paint with Plaid Facebook group.
Okay, thank you, Chris. So look, we're going to slide in here. I'm going to pick up, like how it picks up the pretty purple. I'm going to slide in here with citrus, green, and teal on my 12 flat. That was the half-inch scruffy. All right, so I'm just going to finish one side, And then if we have more time, I'll keep painting the left side. I mean the right side. Left side. Depends on how you're seeing it. Okay, so I'm going to come in here and make some long, slender designs like that. Oops, well, I've got the scruffy. I'm going to take out the purple, and we're going to put citrus and teal. Citrus, green, and teal. All right. Actually, I'm going to have to squeeze a little bit of that out because we've got purple, because I don't want to go without showing you the centers. Okay. So, because I don't want to go into water, I want to keep it dry if I can. There we go. You're going to pounce right in here. Look how.
We can hear that pouncing, Donna.
Sorry. Okay, and the last little thing. Okay, I'm going to take my little liner, get some little aqua, and pull some little fun, little light guys here. And we are going to take a little bit of that pink. And all we do for all the added little color you want to add on here, guys, you're going to come really light, little, and I think we're out of time. Are we pretty much out of time?
Donna, we thank you so very much for sharing your time with us today. This has been such a fun project.
Thank
and I
you.
know that everyone is going to really enjoy painting their own welcome sign for their own studios.
And see all
It's
those
just-
fun little dots in there?
We're going to bring it into the overhead real quick right there so everyone can get a final glimpse of this project. Again, the stencils and the pattern for the welcome is all available on the Let's Paint with Plaid. I'm sorry, all of this is available in the kit that's available on Let's Paint with Plaid. Oh, I'm sorry. Plaid Online, thank you. How many times have I said it already? plaidonline.com/Let's Paint. The pattern is in the Let's Paint with Plaid Facebook group in the files section. I hope each one of you will choose to paint this project along with Donna, and know that you can take a picture of your projects and do post them in the Let's Paint with Plaid Facebook group, and you'll use the hashtag Let's Paint Challenge. All of us at Plaid can't wait to see your painted pieces. But before we leave you today, I want to give you a sneak preview of our next month project in the Hometown series. This will be the project for April, and I think Donna in her video says how blessed she feels to be able to look out her window and to be able to see the spring-like dogwood blossoms and the birds chirping, and I hope you all will get that same sentiment as well. So until next time, Donna, we thank you for teaching with us today and sharing your talents. And I want to be sure and let you all know to stay tuned here on the Plaid Crafts channel, because in just a few moments, you're going to learn everything you wanted to know about Bucilla. That's our needlecraft line. So thank you again. I'm Chris Williams along with Donna Dewberry, and we're here to say goodbye. Hope you enjoyed it.